Yo, 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 YouTube. Welcome back to another Dollar Box Live. It is Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. So we are back together again. Happy to have all of you join us, those who are watching this recorded later on. Wish you could have been here, but I'm glad at least you got a chance to see the conversation after the fact. So you might notice tonight looks a little different. Somebody is missing. And it's not Stu. We've got Mr. Stu. But unfortunately, we do not have Charlie tonight. In our area, there's been a cold flu thing that's been kicking around the past few weeks. I had it. Actually caused me some deafness for a little while. I have all my hearing back now, thankfully. But Charlie, I talked to him this morning, and well, he just is not feeling well. So I said, don't worry about it. I'll take this one solo. So I'm counting on all of you in the chat to help me out tonight. Keep me on track. Let's have some good conversation and make Charlie proud of us. I know he's going to be watching. So I just have a few things I wanted to cover tonight, and nothing too drastic. I figured that we'd do a lot of chat conversation tonight. It's me and you guys tonight, and the Stewmeister, of course. But I wanted to talk a little bit on the eBay side of things. I want to talk a little bit about this time of year in sports is very interesting. Basically, all the sports have something going on at the same time, which is very unusual. We have football, obviously about a quarter of the way in. We've got baseball getting towards the World Series and wrapping up. We have basketball starting their preseason. Hockey just started, so soccer's in full swing with the Premier League. Unfortunately, my Manchester City lost to Arsenal this past weekend. I had to hear about that from my buddy who is an Arsenal fan. But I'm sure this weekend when I get together with him, normally Man City wins that game. So good on him. He got one, so that's okay. But anyway, so we have a lot going on in sports, and so I kind of wanted to touch on that a little bit, what we think about that as far as what that means for cards and card sales. One other thing that I wanted to mention was, well, actually a few other things, but I wanted to talk about shows. I've got a few upcoming shows that I'm going to be attending, and I'm going to be working on a project over the next few months where I'm going to be traveling to shows, like not just in my area. So I want to put kind of some feelers out, and I'm planning to make a video, just a straight video on my channel about this too, trying to get some feedback on where I should go, shops, shows, things like that are places that need to be visited. I want to start compiling a list and trying to make some sort of travel plans for that. The other thing I wanted to talk about was eBay coupons. So obviously this is a show about selling low-end cards on eBay. So we definitely want to make sure we're covering that. And coupons. We want to get some feedback on coupons. Has anyone offered one before? I actually did my very first coupon offer today. Created a few different groups. Had a little bit of time this morning after pulling orders to work on some store management, if you will. And so I set up a couple of different groups. I've got a followers group. I've got a previous customer or current customer group and things like that. And I wanted to offer them something for, sticking with me, working with me as I've been building my business, and also making purchases. I can't do this if I don't sell any cards and no one watches the channel. So let's those are kind of the main things I want to cover, but let's first get into some chats here and welcome everybody in. MD Sports Cards, I saw you on here before I even went live. I did not know you could make a comment in the chat before the show actually started, so that was an interesting thing to see. But he says, yo, yo, yo. So you stole my opening tagline. But yeah, so awesome. Thanks for joining us again. Happy to have you. Aretha Franklin says, go, 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 goat. Stu agrees. Somebody told me this morning. I don't remember where that was. I think it was just a message through YouTube. Said I might be a little bit late today. Please don't let Stuart scold me and uh, and yell at me. But that's literally all Stu does. So I don't know how you're gonna disseminate between him scolding you and him just saying thanks for joining us in the end. But anyway, Card Vibe says Stu. Yes, Stu is in the house. So no Charlie, but we do have the Stu, so that's a good one. Bargain Boxers, third one in. Thanks for joining us. Always happy to have you. Urethra wants to wish Charlie a get well. We all do here. Nothing major, just cold. It's that time of year. He's a high school football coach. So he's exposed to a lot of kids, the weather changing, all that kind of stuff. So I'm sure that's part of it. Like I said, it kind of ran through my house as well. And actually, my daughter was supposed to have a play date come over tonight, and she was fine at school. She got home and she wasn't feeling well. So we'll see how that goes. If it's going to run back through her school again. But yeah, get well soon, Charlie. We all want to have you back. Yep, tell Charlie feel better and rest up. Thanks, Tom. That's great advice. It's something that's funny for me when I get sick, and I don't know, maybe some of you are like this too. Feel free to chime in on this, but I don't sleep a whole lot. I only get a few hours a night. I generally get up in the middle of the night, do a little bit of work. That's one hard thing about running a eBay business full time. It's 24 hours a day, so I have to respond to offers and things like that. But when I am sick, I can literally go back to bed and sleep for like 15 hours. So I've learned over the years of, I can get through, the tough guy approach to being ill. I learned over the years, nope, instead of stretching this out over 5 or 6 days of illness, I'm going to go sleep for all my hours, get up, get something good to eat, and I can pretty much be on my road to recovery then at that point. CR wants to know if I went to the Oak Creek show this month. I did not. I went last month. That was the first month I had gone. I had not gone this month. I do have a show coming up this weekend on Sunday in Appleton at the Fox Cities Stadium, the baseball stadium. Good show, a little bit smaller. And then I am going to go to Madison on the 28th. I haven't been to Madison in probably a year. The Bulls show down in Madison. So I'll be going to that one on the 28th. And then I have one more. There's the new one in the Fox Valley area, just south of Appleton, and that's the Legacy card show. Legacy card show, I believe. Legacy Sports Card Show. A newer one. I'm going to go check that one out as well. But I want to start compiling a list of some shows and some shops and things that I want to get to that are not anywhere near to my area. I'm not planning to do much of that this year with winter coming up and all that, but just trying to get some scheduling together to hopefully come out and see some of you in person. Get to some, like I said, get to some shops and some shows that are cool ones in the country. I know everybody knows about Dallas and some of those. I don't necessarily want to go to those. I'd like to go to other show, Ship Shawana, I want to really go to other shows that haven't really had the exposure and try to get some experience with some of those. So CR experiences a slowdown towards holiday season. I'm assuming you're referring to sales. My sales have slowed down a little bit, but I think it's mainly because a lot of stuff I'm listing now is stuff that I still bought at the National in July. And the National can feed your inventory for like a year. It's crazy. I don't have any like super new hot stuff or anything like that to put on there, which usually kind of sparks some sales. And so it had gotten slow for me for a couple days, and then this weekend was just. You probably saw my stack in my current video, 2 stacks really of sales that went gangbusters. Today I put the coupon on, and I did it as a must buy multiple cards to get the deal. Excuse me, to get the deal. And I think that was a good move because I've been getting a lot of single card orders, and I was trying to maybe take a little less money on some of the super low end stuff, you know, the $1.50 cards, but get multiple cards out the door. So that seems to have done the trick. So we're going to talk about coupons a little bit. Despite the busy scheduling of the sports, your cards have sold. Yeah, it's interesting because there's really no like preseason hype type sales right now. I'd sold some the last month or two, and I sold a Zion Williamson rookie card this morning. So, because basketball is basically the only thing that's in the preseason, I don't really carry much hockey, so I don't expect to see any kind of spike in sales for hockey because I have mainly like Gretzky and Lemieux and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, football's been kind of weird this year. It seems like nobody's really excited about the performances other than the 49ers are completely killing it. I sold some Ayuk stuff. Um, sold a couple of Bosa cards. I don't know how many. The Purdy stuff I have is big Purdy, so I haven't sold any of that, like autos and stuff. Um, but yeah, I think a lot of the teams just were sort of coming out as being disappointing based on expectations. Other than Lions, I sold some golf stuff. Um, let's see, what else did I sell? Sold a couple of Stafford cards. Just some kind of things you wouldn't necessarily expect to sell. Has been doing pretty well. Oh, Justin Jefferson, I've sold a few of him. So anyway, yeah, I think it's kind of in that strange transition point. I've sold a bunch of baseball recently. I sold some Royce Lewis. A lot of Jeter. Jeter's been just banging it out. That's a very consistent seller for me because I sell based on player mainly. So that's how I would share my experience with it. But yeah, I kind of see where you're coming from. It doesn't seem like it's quite as busy as you'd think it would be with all four major sports plus soccer. If you want to throw that in as the fifth major, I would. It's got a lot more card activity than it ever has in the past. But yeah, Aretha Franklin she got the email about my coupon. Awesome. Go buy some stuff. I'd appreciate it. Get you some good deals and send you some cool stuff. Glad to know that Stewie is doing well. Stewie is just fine. I mean, look at that face. That is a happy face. I can't get him to focus. How do I do that? Doesn't like the stew. It likes me, I guess. I don't know. But anyway, yeah, Stu is doing just fine. Still has his opinions. He's got a nice, clear voice. He's feeling great. We're gonna try to keep him away from Charlie for a little while so he doesn't get the sickness. Bargain Boxer says he's gonna have to catch the replays, watching Castaway. I love that movie. Fair enough. I can see us getting trumped for Castaway. I'm not offended by that by any measure. Tom Hanks is a legend, so you do what you got to do. All right, Peter wants to talk non-sport. So, a man after my own heart. That's actually one of my favorite things to sell. I've sold my. Speaking of that, since this is on topic now, I sold my very first Garbage Pail Kids card today. Other than tell a lie, I did buy one out of a like quarter box a while ago. It was an 85, just random, not mint Garbage Pail Kid that I knew I could flip for a couple of bucks. But this was actually stuff I bought. I bought a bunch of the Bookworms boxes that were on clearance at Walmart for $12, $11 and what odd cents. And I put together a whole set because I actually collect Garbage Pail Kids. I had a ton of extras, so I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna list some of this and see if it does anything. And I sold one today, so looking forward to adding some more Garbage Pail Kids. I think there's a lot of potential for those sticker cards. They do a Sapphire series now. They do a Chrome. They have a bunch of different like retail packs and stuff like that. So you can tell that market's really picked up. I'll turn this TV off here. I didn't know it was still on. There we go. Okay. All right. So yeah, non-sport. Non-sport is hot. I just listed a bunch of turtle stuff. I've got some right here. This is from the Turtles movie. I've got some Series 2 turtles. I bought them, of course, for the stickers, but got a bunch of other cards that I could bought off. I listed a bunch of Empire Strikes Back. Yeah. So yeah, non-sport, awesome, awesome stuff. Don't overlook it. Let's see. Thought I would hear more buzz with the preseason. Yeah, I kind of thought so too. I don't know. Cards aren't like how they used to be, where it was okay. 2 months before the season, you buy these guys, and you that's where the hype is. You sell the guys at the peak. Once performance happens, performance never equals expectation. So I don't know. It doesn't seem like that really is the exact formula anymore. And that's why, we talked about this quite a bit on this show about, oh, when do you list which cards? And then I just list if I've got a stack of cards and it's got, Trevor Lawrence stuff in it and it's got Peyton Manning in it. Peyton Manning. Don't sleep on the comics either from Bazooka. Those are awesome. Um, it doesn't matter to me. I list them all. So I need them all in my store. It, Even if, let's say, Trevor Lawrence was killing it this year and they're undefeated and all that, still doesn't mean that I'm going to sell that Trevor Lawrence card before I sell that Peyton Manning card. There are plenty of Peyton Manning collectors as well. So I just really kind of try to just get as much listed as possible. I actually have listing on my list for discussion tonight because I don't ever want to. I think I always want that to be a topic because it's so important. You can't sell what you don't list. And as cumbersome as it is, and not as much fun as it is, and it creates more organizational chaos for you. You got to file stuff away and so forth. I get all that, but it's just you have to get stuff on there. Kind of like YouTube content, right? So before I started my channel, I was kind of having conversations with myself and arguments with myself about what kind of videos do I want to make, and I don't know how to edit, and I don't have good microphones or good cameras. I just didn't feel like I was in a position to make any sort of YouTube content that had value. And shot my first video. I had like a plug-in microphone that I had to hang on to, and if you watch my early videos, um, they're different. But anyway, it was just you just have to do it. Like, yeah, if I don't put content out there, I can't get anybody to watch or um, look at what I'm doing and maybe try to replicate that or find their path or share their story journey with me. And so I did it. I just made some videos and I put them out there. And your first 5 videos, nobody even looks at them. But you have to keep at it. And if it's something you have belief in, it's practice, practice, practice. My daughter is getting into soccer. We're out there every morning with the ball right now, dribbling and passing and trapping the ball, trying to get better. And it's like that with most things in your life. And I think eBay, you can get better, you can get more sales, you can have more traffic, but you got to list. And that seems to be the most difficult step for most people to stay consistent with. Sierra also says it took the hobby really, really long to be sold on Purdy. He literally hasn't lost a game. LOL. Yeah, he hasn't lost a game where he has thrown more than 5 passes. Got to put that asterisk in there because they did technically lose the NFC Championship game, even though he only played, I don't know, 5 plays or 10 plays, whatever it was. But yeah, he's a good game. I wouldn't. It's hard to take a quarterback like that and say, oh, he's the best quarterback in the league because he's based on his quarterback talent, he's not. But his decision making ability and his ability to manage the game and throw some balls when he needs to throw them. Yeah, there's very little argument that he's got a really good team and he is letting everybody do their part, and it's allowing them to win. He doesn't make mistakes. Um, I was very fortunate last year. I pulled a couple of really big Purdy autos. I sold one and I hung on to the bigger one, and now I'm getting offers left, right, and center for it. And nothing in the off season, nothing over the summer. Even when word was kind of coming out, he's definitely gonna be back. He's gonna be able to start the season. Nothing. Didn't get offers from anybody. now boom, he's back, he's playing well, and arm looks great. And um, I think as long as he can keep from getting hit too much, which shouldn't be too hard with that offensive line, he should be able to. I don't know. I honestly think, based on the fact that the NFC is not that great, I don't even really like the Eagles that much. I honestly think they have a shot at going undefeated. So, because they're just so, I mean, they just destroyed the Cowboys this past weekend, who have a pretty good team. So I just don't see anybody really playing up to them. And even the AFC is not as great as it appeared on paper. The Bills have shown, some downside. The Bengals have struggled. You've got, um, Mahomes lost to the Lions first game of the year. I mean, they're good. I mean, they're going to be there at the end, but they just nobody really looks super dominant compared to the 49ers. So it's going to be really interesting to see where that ends up. But I am not selling the pretty cheap by that. I can tell you. I'll hang on to it if I have to. If they go undefeated and win the Super Bowl, that would be really something. So, yeah, and CR points out a lot of people saying they could go undefeated. I mean, if you look at their schedule, there isn't a lot on that schedule that really looks like they're going to have competition. So, um, you know, knock on wood, unless something drastic happens, and they can keep playing with their, players that they have. I really think that, yeah, they got a good shot at just winning every game. So it'll be crazy if that happens. I still had some Chronicles Purdy in my dollar box like a week or two ago. You wouldn't if I was there. I would have bought every single one of those. Um, yeah. So here's the thing. It's fun that you bring this up because I was just thinking about this today. I had some Justin Jefferson Chronicles rookies that I was doing some organizing. I was filing some stuff in the drawer. And I was like, and I don't ask a lot for them, like $4 or $5. And I'm like thinking, why isn't anybody buying these? And I get Chronicles. They make a lot of rookies, but I think of it like some of the sets from the 90s that nobody wanted to look at, like Collector's Edge and stuff like that. Nobody took any of that seriously. And, Pro Line and stuff like that. But I saw a ton of that stuff now because it just wasn't, I feel like it's not as printed as much. Okay. So now there's plenty of Chronicles available, but think about it. There's like 8 or 10 sets, plus there's a couple of exclusive sets within Chronicles to different types of packs. And I don't think there's as much out there as people are assuming there is, and sleeping on the prices. And I don't see pretty, Chronicles cards in dollar boxes around here. So, um, yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting. For $1, I don't know how people didn't take the risk. Cheaper than a pack from the store. Yeah, absolutely. I would have bought every single one of them. So, but I was also doing that with Otani when he had his Tommy John, um, in 2019. So it was somewhat before the price booms as well. But I was getting those. I was getting Topps Otani rookies for $1 out of dollar boxes, and yeah, I bought every single one that I could find. I'm like, there's no way you can lose on this. Sometimes I was getting them for like 50 cents because I'd get a stack of them and I get them cheap enough. And then I just lived off of selling Otani rookies, the entire spring training into the first month of the season when he was, destroying the ball this year. So, interesting. Yeah, and I'm explaining why you love to rip some Chronicles. Exactly. It's one of my favorite products to buy. If I can buy, CJ Stroud is the big quarterback rookie this year. If I can buy a blaster box and pull 3 different brands, 3 different sets of CJ Stroud rookie cards, I don't know, that seems like a pretty solid box to me versus buying a blaster box of Prism. You get 4 sad packs in there with 4 cards each, and you don't get anything. You certainly don't pull a CJ Stroud, and I don't know. I think those are cards where you kind of have to be patient with them a little bit. You're not going to get a quick turnaround because there are so many different versions of that rookie card um, in the set. But I think as you hang on to them, like XR cards are really cool, and Legacy Chrome refractors or prisms, whatever you want to call them, those are really cool. And like that stuff, the Gridiron Kings rookies, which is a Chronicles set. Those are cool cards, and you can only get them out of that set. So I don't know. I think, and I'm also a low end guy. So kind of responding to your comment here, what's considered low end? Perfect. That's exactly what I do. So I mean, it fits my MO. It's the stuff that I like. I can get a blaster for $25, whatever, and $30, and I can pull like 15 solid rookies out of that, and hopefully a couple of cool inserts, and parallels. There's the teal parallels and the pink, and yeah, I think they're great cards, and I think down the road there's going to be some appreciation for them. So it's speaking to the low end portion of it. So you listen to put this comment back up. You listen to other card influencers or whatever, and it's national treasures and um, flawless and blah blah blah. 99% of us are never gonna ever touch or buy those cards. So what? Who cares? So okay, so you paid $5,000 for some box that you got $2,000 worth of cards out of, because it's generally how it's going to go. But it's just not. It just doesn't really, land for most people. I would rather have a bunch of really cool low end $5 rookie cards that I like. If you really get into somebody, or you're really collecting someone, or it's your team or whatever, and you want to spend a couple $100 for a nice numbered auto or something, great, but you don't need a $15,000 flawless card of a player who hasn't done anything yet. I don't know. I never got that part. It's the whole reason I started my channel, is I wanted to talk to new people into the space, investors and collectors, and say, you don't have to buy flawless. There's other really cool cards, and you can deal in low end stuff and make some money doing it. You don't have to have 10,000 other cards. It's all the sets that Panini is known for that they don't sell by itself anymore. Exactly, and that's why I say there's actually less of it, right? Because you can't go out and buy a box of Gridiron Kings. You can only get a few of those Chronicles boxes. So I actually think per set, if you really split out each individual set inside Chronicles, I don't know. I think I don't see a ton of XR rookies versus I see a ton of Prism rookies for each player. When I'm at shows and stuff. So, and I like the lesser known sets. I like Origins. I like Phoenix. I loved Unparalleled when that was around. Like, though, that stuff is good stuff to buy, and actually it resells pretty well. A lot of times I'll sell that stuff before I'll sell the Prism copy. You love it, and I love it. And you know who else loves it? The Stewmeister. He says, Chronicles for life. All right, so let's see. We've got 2007 Upper Deck Big Shots. So much hidden low-end fun. 2007 Upper Deck Big Shots. I do not remember that product. Here, I gotta look this up. 2007 Upper Deck Big Shots. What was that? Was that a basketball product? Upper Deck Sweet Spot. I remember Sweet Spot. Yeah, I don't remember that one. Yeah, you have to enlighten me. Remind me what that one was. Peter says there's a Clearwater card show this week, and only found one guy that had a dime box. Found those 1991 Upper Deck comic ball cards. Nolan Ryan featured 200 cards, offered $5. Yeah, that was a great buy. I've bought those cards before and sold them. Nolan Ryan has a great market. It's fun to have a card with Daffy Duck and Nolan Ryan on it. It's kind of Space Jam-ish. Reminds me of some of those cards, which also sell very well if you're into the non-sport thing, non-sport cards. Um, yeah, so Clearwater Show, I haven't been to that one. You could send me some information on that. I didn't see that one being advertised, so it didn't get on my radar. But I'd love to go to new shows. I think it's good for content. It's good to um, go to different shows to make if you're buying from the same dealers all the time, it's nice to get out to a different show and experience some different boxes. Other than that, I never see less than $1 boxes. I must come to the upper Midwest. Seems prices are cheaper in your area. So usually what I'm like my sweet spot right now, my favorite boxes are the 2 for $1. Okay, so essentially they're 50-cent boxes. And I like those. And it gives me a lot of leeway because definitely not going to pay $1 for one card. So I'm going to get two at least. That would be 50 cents a piece. And then if you can bulk it up, you can generally get a better deal than that because they're not really looking for, it's not really $1 box anyway. So, but yeah, I find plenty of quarter boxes here and there. Dime boxes are a little fewer and far between. Those are generally like big collection buyers who are just trying to, um, release the low end stuff in bulk, at a cheaper price, things like that. But look around every card show, ask if they've got boxes, try to dig. If it says it's $1 box, pull out enough cards and try to get them for 50 cents. Now you found a 50-cent box. That's how I look at it. It would be extremely rare unless it was something. It's extremely rare I go into a box and I buy one or two cards. I'm gonna make a stack. I want it to be worth my time. I want it to be worth their time, and I want that discount because you can build in. If the card is supposed to be $1 and you buy enough and you end up getting it for 50 cents, that is you just half priced. You created a huge margin for yourself in resale. Even if you just get the dollar for it, you doubled your money. So um, yeah, that's something to keep in mind when you're looking at those boxes. Jay Buhner chainsaw card. Gosh, I don't remember those at all. Jay Buhner chainsaw? Jay Buhner. Now I'm interested. Buhner chainsaw. Oh my gosh, you're right. He has a chainsaw. Let me see if I can. Oh, it's from Collector's Choice. Okay. Wow, interesting. Interesting. Let me see. Maybe I can share this here. Let me try to pull this up. I should have done this ahead of time, but I was on my own tonight, so trying to. Anyway, while I try to pull that up, we can move on here a little bit. Let's see. What do I get in there? Oh, I gotta enter my studio. Haven't shared my screen in a couple of episodes, so I had to try to remember how to do it. Okay, I'm in. Let's see. How do I present? Share my screen. Okay, here we go. We're gonna share this one. This will be easier tonight because I don't have the extra person on the screen. Should be easier to share. Whoops. Let's see, is that showing up? Hmm. Nope, that's not what we want to see. Well, anyway. Oh, there we go. Took a little while. There we go. Okay. Let me page down here so we can actually see it. So this is what he's referring to. It's the Jay Buhner chainsaw card. Look at this thing. That's crazy. And it's called Big Shots. So is it like hunting and stuff? Is that kind of what it's supposed to represent? I don't know. That's crazy. I actually don't remember those. I'd buy the hell out of those if I found them though, for the right price, of course. Yeah, there's a Brett Favre card from '93 Pro Line where he's in like hunter gear and he's got like a deer head, and those sell pretty well. So it's kind of along that same line there. All right. Let's see. Unparalleled is a very sneaky set. These bigger sets get a handful of guys that gets their only card in their careers. Yeah, I've sold a lot of Unparalleled stuff. Unparalleled has really kind of sneaky um, parallels as well, and you have to look at the back. They have names of them on the back and stuff. And um, I picked up a George Kittle Cosmo card, so like the foil background on the front kind of has like planets and stars and stuff in it. Those are pretty rare, and I got that out of a 10-cent box. So if you kind of know what you're looking for with Unparalleled, it can help you, and you can find a buyer for those cards. Oops, I mean 1997. Oh yeah, it's 97. Collector's Choice was the set, so I think it's just a subset. I don't even think it's an insert. Let me see what it shows on the back. Oh, it is an insert card. It says 17 of 19. Yeah, I can show you what the back looks like. I kicked it off now, so whatever. But yeah, it's from '97. Yeah, it says Buhner. What does it say on the back? Buhner plays for a team in the Pacific Northwest, and this photo illustrates his great love the Mariners outfielder has for the outdoors. It's crazy. Love it. I feel like everyone at shows has boxes of cards individually priced and still get more foot traffic than my dollar and dime boxes. Yeah, probably depends a little bit on what show you're at. Um, my dime and quarter boxes do very well. I always have diggers. Yeah, you almost have to kind of build that up a little bit. Um, the first show I did, I didn't have a lot of diggers. The second show, I had more, and people who were digging in the previous show were back digging again. You almost have to kind of build it up that, like, oh, he's got good quarter boxes, he's got good dime boxes. Um, you almost have to get to that point. You also need people that are shopping at that show that buy those kinds of cards. If they're looking for bulk, if they're looking for individual, not big name players, things like that. Those are the people that you need to dig in those boxes. So you might just not have that foot traffic at that show. Cards that should be in dollar boxes are now in $5 boxes. Welcome to 2023 in the Midwest. I haven't really experienced that. I mean, there's always overpriced stuff at shows. I can skip past that pretty quick. And I have certain dealers that I like to buy from. And yeah, if I go to a 200 table show, there's probably 7 to 8 tables out of that entire show that I want to buy from. So it's not big numbers that you're going to be able to do your value digging in. And to wet the whistle there a little bit, I'm going to be doing a lot of talking tonight, being on my own. Well, me and this guy, of course. He always needs water. It's got to be quite a strain on his voice. Harder to buy bulk than during COVID. Really interesting. Yeah, I haven't experienced that. I've been able to buy lots of bulk. Um, there's good lots on eBay right now. I've been shopping some of that. I'm trying to buy some more non-sport stuff. I got a giant lot of, where did I put them? Giant lot of Ren and Stimpy stuff I got to finish up yet. And these are cool because I got some of the. Is this the Cheesy Chase one? No, I've got some that are from like the Nicktoons set, and I've got the regular like foil ones, which I sell a lot of those, stock a lot of those. but these are pretty cool. You don't see these real often. And then there's some of the case cards in there. There's tattoos. Like that's nice stuff. Um, but yeah, I haven't run into a problem where I've seen. Um, I've never had a problem at a show yet, knock on wood, that I haven't been able to buy some bulk somewhere in the show. Now that being said, I'm actually looking for something in a little unusual for me at this upcoming show on Sunday. So a product came out today. I don't rip a lot of wax, as you guys know. I have my few products that I like. There's a product that came out this week that I love and I'm going to buy some of, and it's Bowman Chrome U. It's coming out Friday. I know technically there's rips already online because, of course, certain people get product early, but I really like those cards. I did super well on my box last year, even though I got skunked on my autos. That's a whole other complaint to Tops. Some of their quality control has been a bit of an issue recently from what I've seen, but anyway, I'm really looking forward to that. And the throwback version of the players for the inserts is 1955 Bowman, which if you've watched my videos in the past, that's probably my favorite vintage set. 55 Bowman cards are awesome. It's a nice kind of solid colored background, and there's like a white halo uh, effect around the picture of the player. And it's just real clean, super nice design. They look very vintage. Um, yeah, awesome. So I'm very excited about that. I'm in Florida, and yeah, during COVID, guys were digging the big stuff and couldn't wait to dump the low end. Now it seems it has flipped. Yeah, and that's probably what should happen. And why I wanted to again, why I started my channel. I wanted to kind of start that revolution. I suppose maybe I shot myself in the foot a little bit. I don't know. Um, created competition where maybe I wouldn't have had competition, but yeah. So it's yeah, you're probably gonna have to fight a little bit more. There's probably more buyers looking for the same thing you're looking for. Let me see if I can find that Bowman U 1955. Let me see if I can get a picture of these and you can see what those new cards look like. Bowman U football. Here's some of the actual 1955 cards. Trying to see if I can find a photo of the brand new like replicas. Let's see what this looks like. If anyone can beat me to it, feel free. Let's see. 20. See what this looks like. There might not be a bunch of pictures out there though, because literally they weren't supposed to be out there yet today. It looks like all the last year stuff I'm finding pictures of. But I can show you a picture of the actual 1955 Bowman if you want to see that. 1955. All right, let me get this pulled up here. Yeah, I kicked myself out of my own stream here. Screen sharing. Here we go. Seems slow for some reason. I don't know if StreamYard's getting text right now or not. Okay, here we go. I'll go present. Share my screen. This might take a second to load because that's what it did last time. Oh, no, it's fast this time. Kind of. I spoke too soon. Yeah, see, I don't know why it's taking so long to load it. There we go. So you can see there, let me take the comments off so we can see this on the screen. You can see the design of the 55. I could blow it up a little bit. Let's see if I can make that bigger. Let's do this. See if we can find a. Hoping I could just get a picture of it. It's kind of weird that I can't, but they're at the 55s. See if there's a picture on here under Steel City Collectibles. Here we go. I'm gonna pull this up. Now you'll be able to see it. Oh, why does it say stop sharing? So weird. Yeah, like every time I go to the next screen, then it stops sharing again. All right, we'll try this one last time. Then we're gonna move on. We got better things to do. Yeah, it's like timing out on my laptop for some reason. Page not loading. Well, anyway, I'll just stop. Okay, no, I don't want to do that. Entering the studio. I don't know why I'm entering a studio. Okay. Well, anyway, let's move on. Oh, here. As soon as I say that, then it actually loads. Go figure. Aha! I got it. So here you can see what the design looks like. So basically, it's like the 55s, where it's the solid color background and sort of a white halo around the player. Then they do it. They do have like a chrome border on it. I think they're all kind of a refractor style. I can make this bigger. If I do that, that's not going to share. I don't know how to zoom when it's in sharing, but anyway, I think you get the idea. Um, yeah, they're super cool. It's one of my favorite sets of all time is the 55 Bowman football, so that's influenced me too to buy some. There you go. That is the 55 Bowman inserts. I think they're awesome. But to each his own. You gotta you know, stick with the products that you enjoy. If you want flawless and national treasures, and by all means go buy that. All right, CR, excuse me, says he's sorting dime and dollar boxes. Got 2 or 3 more boxes to go. So sorting to sell, sorting to list. What are you sorting your cards for? PC cards? All right, ballpark figure from Bradley. Welcome, Bradley, to the show. Ballpark figure, how many Tom Brady cards do you own and which one is the most valuable? Let's see. I own right now probably about 4,500 cards, I think. Not all unique or anything. And it's just inventory. It's just stuff that I resell. I don't collect Brady or hold really any Brady. I do have a few rookie cards. I've got a couple of upper deck. I have is it the Minion, I think? Where it's the two of them on a card. And then I have a Bowman. So not bad. I have some decent rookies. They're all in my to be graded stuff. So they're just kind of sitting there. But I've had those for a while. I was buying Brady rookies before the boom, which of course turned out to be a good idea. Card Vibe wants to know, do I ever sell any GPK cards? I'm interested in a lot of older non-sport wax lately. Yes, I just mentioned that earlier. I sold my first modern Garbage Pail Kids card today. I had sold a couple of the original 1985s. When I find them in quarter boxes and stuff, I buy them regardless of condition. There's money in them. And it's funny that you're into non-sport wax because that was something that I had gotten into a while ago too, and there's a couple of videos on here about that. I collect non-sport sealed wax packs, 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. Past 90s, it's not really wax anymore. They're usually poly packs or the foil packs, whatever. But yeah, I collect sealed packs. I have a nice display down in my basement, which I had to take down right now because we were finishing some areas down there, but it'll be going back up soon. Yeah, it's old non-sport wax is still a decent buy. Price wise, the prices have gone up a little bit in recent times, but much better deal than sealed sports wax. And with the popularity of all things pop culture and all that, I think it's a good buy and hold for a long time. Plus, the art on those wax packs is just cool for a lot of them. Bargain Boxer says he just saw a video on the Wax Museum podcast and he buys in Clearwater, Tampa, Orlando, and he just bought 13 Wax Museum. Oh, Wax Museum as in like wax boxes. And he just bought 13 of the 93-94 finest refractors for $1 a piece. I'm moving to Florida. Yeah, I would buy every single one of those. Doesn't even matter who the player is. Bought a Drew Bledsoe out of a dollar box not too long ago. I bought Mark Brunell. But yeah, any of those, you find any of those finest refractors, you just buy them. Sierra wants to know if I would rather have a 500-ish Brady rookie or a Brady downtown. Brady rookie. Yep. Rookie cards are always, always, always going to be a thing. On a player like that, it's iconic. I mean, I wouldn't mind having a Brady downtown too, but I'd rather have the rookie. I don't collect Brady, so maybe my answer would be different if I collect Brady. But as an investor and somebody looking at it as a future value piece, or I don't know. Card Vibe says, I love the artwork, history, and display of old unopened wax. Yeah, you should check out my unopened non-sport wax pack wall. I did a whole video of it. I have some boxes that I have packs in, and yeah, it's cool. I love that stuff. Or would I rather have $500 Brady cards? Give me $500 Brady's. Easier to sell dollar cards than $500 cards. Yes, that is the whole point of what we do here. So I completely agree. And I have well over $500 Brady cards. So clearly that's the path I've chosen as well. Card Vibe says people will always open wax, so it becomes more rare by the year. Yes and no. I believe that when a wax gets to a certain age, just none of it gets opened, right? So, um, if you had a box of 2017 Optic football laying around, which is Mahomes' rookie year, of course, is anybody ever going to open those? Those are just going to be sealed forever. Like whatever's left is not going to get opened because you're looking at, I don't know, $5,000 a box or something stupid. Um, that those products won't be open, I don't think, no matter what. If you have a box of 2000 Bowman Chrome with potential Brady rookie in it, SP Authentic, something like that, at 2,500, $5,000 a box, whatever the heck they cost. You're not going to open that. So I do believe that. So there's a shift in this, right? A kind of a curve that crosses through this. So the wax goes up in value as more of it gets opened, but then I believe it goes in the other direction. So when there's a super hot valuable card in it, the wax doesn't deplete because people keep it sealed. So in actuality, there actually becomes less quantity available of the actual card, the hot card that was in that product, because now there's all this sealed wax that isn't going to get opened. So let's say there's 10,000 copies of a card printed, 5,000 of them get cracked, the player takes off, and now everybody keeps the rest of the wax sealed. Now there's only 5,000 copies of that card that are out. The rest are sitting in boxes. So, and that doesn't figure in even cards that get lost, cards that get damaged, cards that whatever, you know. So there's some argument to the fact that the individual card can also um, the numbers can end up going down over time. So, all right. So we talked about Bowman U. We talked about card shows and doing some travel, hoping to see more people, more viewers. That would be awesome. We talked about listing and why I'm going to hit on that every single week. If you don't like to hear about listing, don't tune into this show because I feel like that it's my duty to harp that is a responsibility of all of us trying to build a low end card business. But the last thing I want to talk about was the coupon and my experience with that. It's the first time I've used it. So what I ended up doing was there's a couple different, I don't know if you've ever done coupons, but there's a couple different templates out there and different ways to do it. I always just kind of, because I do a newsletter every week, I have a newsletter that goes out every Saturday too. It just kind of says, hey, dollar box are still here. Here's some cards that I just listed, see if this is something you'd be interested in. But I wanted to do a coupon. And I was really happy when I went to the coupon area on eBay and it allowed me to create groups. Maybe I can show that. I know I stink at sharing, but maybe I'll give that a shot. See if I can get it. But anyway, it allowed me to create groups and I liked that because I didn't want to make a coupon that was going to be available to everyone. I wanted to make it available to my reoccurring customers and customers who had bought in the last 31 days, and then also to see, where is that marketing, I believe, right? And also to my followers. I have like 700 or 800 followers on the store. I believe. Let me see if I can share this. It's actually kind of working right now, so interesting. Look at that. It might happen. So I really wanted to, focus my coupon on those that I wanted to receive a little extra discount. Okay, great. So we're here. That's awesome. So this is, if you go under marketing under your seller hub, so this is the Hello Seller Hub screen, you go under marketing. There's this create a coupon button. So I'm going to create a coupon. Let's see here. It'll let me do this. Or maybe it won't let me make one since I just did one today. Yeah, I don't know. Something's slow for some reason. Well, anyway, you're going to create. Oh, how's it going? Click create a coupon, and then it'll give you different like default options for that coupon, and then you can adjust them from there. So it'll give you a preview. It's already loaded for me, but it's going to take a second on here for you guys to see. And it loads that eBay assistant, but I don't like that thing. I like to go do my own stuff. Come on. Okay, here we go. So if you notice on this top section here, it says coupon code. You have to give it some kind of a code for people to enter. So come up with something that's fairly easy, yet not like super easy, I guess, for someone to use that if you don't want them to use it. So this is just sort of the default coupon. It's a coupon summary. It's a public coupon, meaning it doesn't just go to your groups. It's 20% off, maximum savings, $100 per coupon. Just kind of tells you like what's going on with this coupon. And then you can start to change those options yourself. You've got your coupon code, then it says private or public. So I would go private is what I do. And that way it's only with those that I share the coupon to. The discount type, now there's 3 different options here. You can just do flat 20% off. I don't want to do that because if they buy a single card, my margins are slim on a lot of low end cards as it is. I don't want to just give 20% off. So I really like this 20% off of 3 items or more. And you can change this number. You can make it 5, you can make it 10, you can make it 20, whatever you want to do. You can also change the percentage. You simply click on there and then just type in a different number. So it's completely customizable. Usage limits, you can have a maximum savings amount. I left it at $100. I highly doubt I would ever hit that number anyway, so I just didn't bother doing anything with it. And then there's no limit to the amount of times they can use it. So if I have a buyer that comes on, buys 3 cards, and 3 days from now they come on and want to buy 3 more, I'm certainly going to allow them to do that. The set a budget thing is kind of interesting. I didn't use that at all. Put a limit on how much margin you have for your coupon. So that's kind of interesting. So it would take the price of the item and it would make sure that your margins were hit. Now, items available, like all my inventory, you can have a deal on anything you would buy. Then you can add, you actually have to add a description. So you got to put something in here like, thanks for shopping with me. Here's an extra discount for you to help you grow your PC faster, whatever you want to do. Put something in there in that description. And then you can customize the card photos that are in there. I just left those as defaults as well. And then you can set your duration. Again, I just left it as a default. I left it November 1st. I liked that time frame. It's basically 2.5 weeks. And I figure after the first, I would be evaluating sort of my plans for pricing for the holidays. And at that point, I might just send out another coupon, or I don't know. We'll see what happens. So anyway, now it's going to update all your coupon summary here with your changes. So you can see now it says 20% off 3 items or more. It says private coupon, maximum 100. I didn't change these other things, so those stayed the same. Gives you a little preview of it, so you can kind of see what it's going to look like. Tied to an item or a picture or whatever. And then you just hit launch coupon and it should send it out. Now you can do, let me see where it has the creating groups. I don't want to save this coupon. I think I might be wrong. You might have to save the coupon and then you can choose who it gets sent to. Like I said, the first time I did it was today. Manage promotions. I want to manage here's buyer groups. So these are my groups then that I have based on who I can send stuff to. All right, so this is what I've got now. I've got my total buyers. This is the number of people that have bought from me. This is the number that I had of repeat buyers, the number of my one-time buyers, and then this is the number of followers. So those are people who like said, "Hey, I like buying from this guy, save this store." That's basically what a follower is. So then here are my two buyer groups that I created. I have my previous customers and I have my followers. You can see it says new because it's the first time that I had sent one of those. And then you can simply go here and create um, more groups if you want. Click the create group or select from one of the groups you've already created. And you can see the coupon that I sent this morning. I have the one for the repeat customers, one for the followers, and it'll tell you how many people it got sent to or how many it reached, I guess. So you can, it's kind of nice. It allows you to at least see, hey, did this coupon actually get out there? Did anybody see it? Not everybody's on a live where Aretha Franklin comes in and says, "Hey, I got your coupon." So this would be your way to know, if it actually went out and it reached your customers. All right. So what do we think of that? Does anybody else use coupons? Has it been good? Has it been bad? Oops, I gotta get back to comments here. I don't know. Let me know what you think on that, if that's something you want to try or if you've tried in the past and what your success has been. Like I said, I got a whole bunch of orders right after I sent it, so it obviously did me some good. And I'm selling low end cards, so quantity is a huge plus because my margins assume I'm selling a single card. As soon as I sell a second card, it's basically your pure profit minus a little bit of the back end fee to eBay for that sale. So I wish people would open Panini Prism Baseball. Yikes. Yeah, I did. I opened some. So we had a new shop that opened here like 2 years ago, and they had a bunch of Prism baseball blasters for like $10 or $15. I was like, man, I'm buying some for that price. And I got some fun cards out of there. I got some color. I got a couple vets that I normally buy, some Griffey, some Nolan Ryan, stuff like that. And I've sold a few of the rookies, especially color and numbered stuff. But I think I bought three or four of them. Now, if they were the $35 for a blaster, there's no way. I would never be able to. Um, I would never be able to get what I need out of that, as that is not a. It doesn't have the licensing and all that, so it's not as. There aren't as many buyers for the baseball prism as there is for the other sports prisms. I feel like for your setup, you should always have a sale coupon going on. Yeah, I think that's kind of going to be my plan. I do like having an expiration date for the coupon just to create a small sense of urgency when it goes out to the customer or the follower. Like, hey, if you want to use this coupon, it's only good through the first. And it gives me some opportunity to maybe switch it up a little bit. Maybe I'll do a little bit bigger percentage, but I'll require more cards purchased. Maybe I'll do 50%, but you got to buy 20 cards. Kind of do a bulk deal sale. So it's kind of like selling a lot without selling a lot. um, yeah, so I'm gonna play with it. I think it'll be fun. Like I said, it has worked just for the small offer that I've made to entice some buying. So yeah, I was really really pleased with it. It was just something I figured I'd try. It's free. Took me like I had to create my groups. I had to do a few extra steps for this first time, but it took me maybe 5 to 10 minutes to do the whole thing and get it sent out. So if nothing else, even if they don't, let's say like for this coupon, you have to buy 3 cards and then you get 20% off. Maybe I'll have a couple customers come in and buy 1 or 2 cards. So the coupon got them to come back to my store, yet they didn't use the coupon. So um, you could get a few sales out of it without the actual coupon even having to be applied. Now, if I sold not low on sports cards, maybe I do 20% off on one item, something like that. But can't do that when you're selling $1.50 cards. You need the quantity to be able to offer a real discount. MD Sports Cards says it will absolutely need to create a sense of urgency timeline for the purchase. Yeah, I think an expiration date on a coupon is necessary. I know that's something people have been complaining. I mean, I don't remember my grandma complaining about that when I was a kid. Like, well, coupon's only good for a week. What the heck? Well, yeah, they want you to get in and use it. It's a tactic to create, the urgency that you have to buy this now. And generally, the goal with a coupon is not to just sell the item that has the coupon attached, to sell additional items. In my case, my coupon sort of applies based on buying additional items. So I liked that. I like the fact that it said you got to buy three, five, whatever. You got to put them all in your cart, pay for them all at once. So none of this buying each individual card, and I get, have to pay the 30-cent fee on each transaction or anything like that. It's a real solid, um, buy these and get the discount. I did have a couple of sales where it was like 8 or 10 cards that somebody had bought. Now they just get 20% off the entire order, but they bought more than the 3 cards. It's kind of nice. Ugh. All right, got to get the throat wet here. So, how you doing there, Stu? Are you still able to talk? Yeah, Stu's doing just fine. So, as long as he's doing okay, I'll be okay. Um, anyway, Bradley wants to know, have I considered listing common cards on sport lots? I have not. From what I understand, the fees are pretty high. Um, and I don't know. I really like selling on eBay, and I only list cards on eBay that I can make money on, and everything else goes in my diamond quarter boxes, and I just push those out at shows. So I really like the format that I'm in right now. Maybe as I grow, that's something that I would like to add. I have a couple of friends, card sellers, whatever you want to call them, all of the above, I guess, that use ComC, and they send piles of stuff to ComC, and they charge you 50 cents a card, and I don't know, it just doesn't seem that viable to use. eBay works so much better for me, and I like to control my inventory. I want to do the shipping. Um, I know the argument is, oh, they do all the shipping for you. That's not how I want to run my business. I want my hands on it. I want to print my labels, make sure my customer gets their items on time. ComC's had, granted, it was when there was the boom and there was so much new business, but they got way behind on shipping orders, and I don't want to work that way. I want to build my brand, my business, and my reputation, and so I like to hold the cards and I like to ship them out. Because I think, correct me if I'm wrong, but on sport lots, don't you have to send the cards to them and then they send them out? Or maybe I'm confusing them with ComC. But anyway, I know a lot of people used to use sport lots, like buying lots and stuff on there. I haven't even shopped on there, so maybe that's at least a place I should really check out a little bit closer to see if it's something that would apply. But um, yeah, my dime boxes and my quarter boxes do pretty well at shows, and it gives me a reason to book a table at a show because I'm not going to sell a lot of $1.50 cards at a show. Um, but it I like it. It's easy for me to haul the boxes. It's easy to manage the table. It's just, oh, okay, well, you dug out of the box, you got 20 cards, $2. Don't have to do price negotiation, a bunch of stuff like that. And so I need those cards. I kind of don't want to send them to sport lots because then I wouldn't have them to bring to the shows. I should say show. I only set up at one show quarterly. It's not very demanding. But I figure it's $50 for my table. It's a little bit more expensive show because it's a bigger one, but Um, if I can sell $300 to $400 in like diamond quarter cards, um, that's a pretty solid day. I get to talk to a lot of people, talk to viewers, talk to customers, and get some of those cards out in hand. It's quick transaction, no fees other than my table. So it's, hey, 20 cards, $2, you hand me $2 in cash. We all move on. Um, I like that experience for those types of cards. I used to I've donated cards in the past to like Children's Hospital and stuff, but they won't take stuff anymore. So um, I don't know. So that's not really a path anymore either. I pretty much have to find a buyer for them. Um, Now I know people who take, like a monster box of commons and they'll advertise it on like Facebook Marketplace or something like that. Hey, $50 for this box, whatever, come get it, or each box or something. And I don't do that. Uh, I did sell an entire 10-cent box to a buyer at not this past show, but the show before that I set up at. And the main reason I did that is because I had that box at a couple of shows already. So I figured, probably the prime stuff had been picked out of there. And I was starting to get too many boxes, more than what I could fit on my table. I didn't want to get another table. It was kind of perfect. Like I sold it, I got a little chunk of cash right up front, and then I could start a new box um, and not run out of space. So space becomes an issue. Maybe I'll consider doing something with sport lots. We'll see. All right. Let's see. What else can we talk about? We did the coupon. We did the shows and the travel. We did the sports. We did the Bowman Chrome U. Yeah, so those are pretty much the topics for tonight. So I'm going to kind of leave it up to the chat. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? Do you have any questions for me? Is there anything you want to tell me about? I did put out a video today, so if you haven't watched it, I put it out. I think early this afternoon. I had a bunch of stuff to do here, so I got it out a little later than I wanted to. Setting up Halloween decorations outside. I got this giant witch, like hovering, floating witch with light up eyes and all that. It took me like 2.5 hours to build, and me and my wife put it together and we set it up. It's not a one-man project, so um, anyway, took some time and did that. It works and it's awesome though, so it was totally worth it. But I spent a little bit of time doing that, so it took me a little longer to get a video out. But put a video out today, um, just kind of focusing on how I price cards because I get asked that a lot, and that one's a tough one because I don't really have like a generic answer for that. Like, okay, if you bought a card for a dime, what do you ask for it? Well, it depends on the card and where I got it from, and what I think I can get out of it, and did I have to buy other cards with it, and what can I sell those for? So I wanted to provide. I had a lot of sales, so I figured it was a good day to pick through. Pick a few sales that were different cards that I had obtained in different ways. Some from boxes, some from lots, some from dollar boxes at a show, some from whatever. I had all these different sources that I had gotten them from, so it gave me a chance to show what I bought it for, and then what I sold it for, and why I asked the price that I asked. So yeah, if you were one of those whoever wanted to know from me how I do that, that video is actually fairly thorough on um, my experience for that. It didn't show every sale by any measure. I had a ton of sales, but I picked it's a good size to be able to pick a sample from and show you my pricing methods. How do you keep track of inventory, all the cards you own, as you collect mostly low end? I don't collect low end at all. I collect Brett Favre. That's my PC. I have low end. I have some super high end. I have a um, thousand stripe rookie card. That's a $5,000 or $10,000 card at this point. I have a precious metal gems, 97 precious metal gems. Probably the greatest insert chase ever, um, as far as cards go. Parallel chase, whatever. That's probably a $5,000 or $10,000 card now as well. So I have, plenty of higher end stuff. But as far as inventory, my inventory is low. I was pretty much all low end. And yeah, I kind of touched on that. Not this video today, but the video from last week touched about how I sort of have a process. I have a table to the right of me here underneath my TV. You can see my TV over here. This is all stuff that needs to be listed. I have some boxes on the floor in front of my desk here that are full 5,000 count boxes. That stuff all needs to be listed. That's just kind of not my working supply right now. All my working listings are right up here. Then on my desk on the other side of me here, I have stuff that I've listed that I haven't really sorted and put away, or I don't have space in the drawer for them or whatever. Then I have some stacks on top of my fireproof cabinets, which are the well organized cards those are ready to be put away. You just need to have that happen. So they're kind of sorted like these are players that are individually in the drawers. These are not as big a name of players. They just need to go in the drawer that is that. These are all non-sport, and they go in the non-sport section and so forth. So that's kind of my flow. It sort of goes from here all the way over to there, and then eventually in the cabinet. And there's lots of times that I have to pull cards out of these stacks that are on my desk of stuff I just listed, which is always awesome because I should be able to remember where it is since I just listed it. I definitely have to pull stuff out of the stacks on the cabinets when that is heavy, and I haven't had the chance to organize those yet. And then I definitely pull stuff out of the cabinets. So a little bit all over the place, but in general, I have a really good. I've been doing this kind of thing for a long time. I used to sell gaming miniatures. Um, I sell some merchandising products, things like that. So I kind of have it in my head like where stuff is, and it generally doesn't take me very long to locate something. Now, if I put it in the wrong spot, that's where the issue comes up. I had a Brady card that I had to ship out today. It was a 2018 Gridiron Kings Donruss insert, and I had filed it in the Brady 2021 cards. So of course I looked at the 18s, I looked at the 17s, I looked at the 19s. I kind of went all around that year area to where the heck is this card. And I remembered filing. I didn't list that card that long ago. I remember filing a bunch of Brady cards, and I was thinking, oh, I put some stuff in the 2016. In the 16, Donruss Gridiron Kings looked similar to the 2018. Excuse me. So I thought, well, maybe I just read the year wrong on the back. Those years are so tiny on the bottom of the card. Maybe I thought it was a 16 instead of an 18. So then I went back to the 16s and I looked through those. Of course, it wasn't in there. And took another minute or two, and it was like, oh, I stuck a whole bunch of Brady stuff I listed in the 2021s. I'm assuming I thought, oh, these were all 2021 cards that I had listed. And sure enough, I went into the first, couple stacks in the 2021 section, and I found a couple of 2017 cards, 2018 cards. So yeah, organization is pretty much a 24-hour a day challenge. There's a lot of challenges to a business like this, but yeah, you really have to try to stay as organized as you can, as much as it sucks taking time out of a day where you could be focusing on making money. I do have to take stacks of stuff and file them away and sort, and those things are all there all day long. So um, yeah, so I do the best to keep track of the inventory. Once it's listed, it's my responsibility to make sure that it goes somewhere correctly so I can pull it out later when my customer wants it. And I just do the best with that as I can. 99% of the time, I don't have a problem. I'll get 150 orders in a day. I'll take a couple hours in the morning. I'll pull all 150 cards, send them out, and I'm good to go. But inevitably, once in a while, there's that one card you can't find, or it's in the wrong spot, or thought I filed it and I didn't yet. So now I got to look through this stack instead of cards that I didn't file. And that's just par for the course. It's just part of it. If you're going to have, I have 32,100 and some odd listings, I believe, right now. So if you're going to stack that many cards that you're going to need to sell and ship out, um, it's a lot of cards to organize and keep track of. And my goal is to pretty much double where I'm at, with hopefully within the next year. I need more listing time because here's the biggest challenge that you face when you're growing in this business. This is true life, true facts here. Um, I'm not telling any kind of goat stories. The biggest challenge is as you're growing your listings, you're getting more sales. Now, that sounds great, right? That's exactly what the goal is. But as you're getting more sales, now you're taking more time to fill sales, deal with customer inquiries, a lost card, whatever the case may be, feedbacks, all those kind of things, sending invoices, making offers, like all those stuff ramp up. The more you list, the more that ramps. So what becomes even more challenging is now I'm spending more time on orders and customers and stuff than I am on the listing. So how do you grow those listings? On top of that, you're selling more cards, so your listing count is dropping faster than it was before. And you list some cards, build it back up, now more sell, So to constantly, you don't want to just grow your listings, because if your listings are growing and you're not getting sales, that's not good either. I mean, the whole point is to sell the cards. And then in that case, I would reevaluate what you're listing. You're probably not listing cards at prices or um, cards that are desirable to a buyer, and your business isn't working at all. So yeah, that if someone were to ask me what is the most difficult part about this, that would be it, is to grow yet getting sales. You have to reseed to move forward. That's what I love about going to shows, because I get this nice fresh stack of stuff that I cherry picked out of boxes. 300-400 cards. I can sit down. I'm confident, and it's all this great stuff that I'm listing. I can get a few sales right away, so I can get my money back pretty easily. And the rest of the stuff gets listed and is waiting for a buyer. And yeah, that just kind of feels the best way to do it. I built basically my entire business just buying lots on eBay. Did some show buying and stuff, but I just bought, 100 card Brady lot for $50. Great, I'll take it. Um, Bunch of Favre lots was how I originally started, because I was pulling out cards from my PC. I didn't see a point in just buying the cards I wanted when I can get a lot for the same price. Just sell what I don't need. Um, so that was kind of my motivation to start this thing at all. And then I was listing those cards and they were selling, and I was making money on the lots, even though I was taking cards out for my PC. So I was like, oh, I got something here. Excuse me. Um, but yeah, so that's basically how I built it all. And now I want to focus more on the shows. I want to cherry pick. I want to have the exact inventory I want, not just whatever I get in a lot. I don't have to buy big chunks of inventory at a time. I do have quite a bit in there to sustain business while I'm, focusing on the growth and cherry picking the growth a little bit. Um, and that's my kind of my motivation going forward. Can save you a little bit of money too. You don't have shipping, you don't have, all those kinds of things. A lot of times when I'm buying cards at a show, uh, if I'm getting them cheap enough and I can get them in a top load, you can pick up some supplies in a way just by buying some cards, versus I buy the lot online. I don't know if they're going to come top loaded or not. They might all just stick them all in a bubble mailer with no protection, things like that. Um, so shows are really my focus on for buying. So to kind of answer your question on the inventory side, that's sort of where I get my inventory and how I manage it, and then yeah. So here I can give you a little taste of what it looks like. I'll take you off the stand here. So this is my these are my stacks of stuff that's been listed, but it hasn't made it over to the cabinet yet. So that's my cabinet, and then you can see the stacks on top of the cabinet. That's all stuff that's listed and sorted and just needs to go in the drawers. And then these boxes up here, those are all my dime box. Actually, these little ones up here, I have are stuff that has to be listed yet. These bigger ones over here, those are all dime and quarter boxes for the show. And then over here, this is all my to be listed stuff that I'm kind of working on immediate listings of. Kind of sort them a little bit ahead of time just to make the listing go faster. These are all like baseball team stickers from Fleer. This is a bunch of football rookies. I got some Ninja Turtle stuff right here that I have to. Non-sport base cards I do lot out and sell. It's just hard to sell individual cards. Certain individual cards I'll sell, but the rest get lotted out. So that's a stack there, so I can lot those out. I've got some soccer here. This is Garbage Pail Kids, I believe. This whole stack down here. So anyway, so that's kind of how I work my inventory situation, and it's ever evolving because what I did when I was sorting inventory and looking for inventory when I had 1,000 listings is way different than what you do when you have 30,000 listings. Plus another, I mean, I have probably a good 1,000 cards up here I got a list, and I probably have another 12 to 15,000 in the monster boxes on the floor that have to be listed. So um, I already have enough to have a solid growth. If I could actually just sit down and list all day for a day would be awesome. Um, but one of the reasons I wanted to work from home is I wanted more time with my daughter. I wanted more time with my wife. I wanted to be able to contribute more to the home. I have a home that it's a wooded lot, so I have like right now I got leaves are a thing. I wanted to be able to participate more outside of a work life, do what I enjoy, but also be able to do it at home and set my own hours and things like that. Now tonight I'm going to be working till 10 o'clock, on the show with you guys. So tomorrow I'll take a few hours. I'll get out there with the leaf blowers. Yes, I have multiple leaf blowers. That's how much our situation is with leaves. But anyway, I'll get out there tomorrow. I'll get some stuff blown, and like I can do that stuff during the day, whereas with a 9 to 5, that's not really a thing. So there's a lot of pluses to it. Do you cover Card Hobbyist has joined us? Welcome. Do you cover show selling costs with bargain box sales, or do you rely on a few more pricey sales? It's a good question, and it's to answer your question, it's basically both. Um, I don't put pricier items on my table at a show. It is just dime and quarter boxes. However, I have a couple of customers that look for me at a show, and I have certain cards for them. And those are pricier cards, and I will do those deals. So it does give me an opportunity to do some cash for that stuff. But yeah, generally the dime and quarter boxes, they pay for my show plus some. If they didn't, I wouldn't do it. Um, but yeah, it's on a good show, it's like 150 to $200, and then it's $50 for the table. So basically, I end up with 150 bucks um, plus after the table fee out of the dime and quarter boxes, and then it's more when it's quarter boxes than it is dime boxes, obviously. But and then I generally will have a couple $100 in like bigger card sales, if you want to call it that. So I'm hoping each quarter to come out with 500-600 bucks after the table fee for my show, and then that makes it totally worth it for me. I got two 5-row boxes to sort and sell. I think we all have some 5-row boxes sitting around to sell. Is modern paper pro uniform rookies priced at 10 cents too low? I assume you're referring to like Bowman paper for baseball rookies, pro uniform versus like draft or pro debut type stuff. Yeah, I 10 cents is probably too low. I'd probably at least go a quarter. I mean, if they're guys who haven't even really had a shot yet, um, I think a lot of prospectors would be willing to spend a quarter for an opportunity on a player who might become something. So I don't put those like paper and chrome rookies. I don't put those in my diamond quarter boxes at all. I keep those. I would rather sell them. I would rather list them like $1.99 in my store if I was going to go low. Um, and then that way, if they sell after fees, I have a little less than a buck in the sale. So you could put them in a dollar box at a show, but if they're not good names or high prospects, it's going to be hard for you to find a buyer at a show that's going to pay $1 for it. So I'd rather just put it online. You'll find somebody who's like, "Oh, I went to high school with that guy," or "I know something nobody else knows, so I'm going to take the 100th pick and I'm going to stack up on those. And when he makes the majors, I'm going to make my money on." I don't know. You're opening yourself to a world opportunity when you sell on eBay versus 35 people who come to your table at a show. It's a lot harder to hit the target um, when you have a much smaller uh, customer base. So people love to complain about eBay fees, and I don't like paying them either. But you get, I mean, there is 100 billion cards or something ridiculous like that sells on eBay a year. It's crazy. It's a crazy huge number. It's just such a great marketplace, and the fact that you can get promotions in that, you can get access to the world market, they manage your sales numbers for you, your income, your graphs, your charts, they do all that stuff. Take the taxes out, pay the state taxes for that transaction. Like the fact that all that occurs, um, and that only happens if you get a sale. Like if when you're listing cards, it doesn't cost you anything. So it's a pretty solid deal. It does kind of stink you have to pay for promotions to get in front of anybody, but that's the world. MD Sports Card says is answering CR. He says yes at a show. Yes, 10 to 25 is appropriate. Over a buck has to be a bigger name. I would agree with that. I would agree with that. I would say I don't think I would do a dime for any first Bowman. I think a quarter is probably the right price. MD Sports Card agrees with me. Yes, the eBay can charge more with a bigger audience, and you're doing the work. Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, if you don't like eBay and you don't want to sell on eBay, then don't sell on eBay. There are other avenues that you can work from. Based on my model and what I want to do, eBay is the way to go. So, pretty easy to print the labels. I love the fact that I can put postage on a single card for 63 cents and it gets tracked. Um, there's just some nice pluses to their program, and I've worked with eBay since 1994, um, selling other things. This is actually my second account. Um, the number I have a year in my username. It's 2014, so that's obviously when I created that one. So even that one I've got almost 10 years in on this account. So yeah, I know how to use them. They have some marketing tools. Everybody knows who eBay is. Um, it's great. It's great website to be peddling your wares on. Uh, and I have yet to find another place that I can find places that are maybe slightly cheaper or cost the same, but don't come anywhere near having the access to the market. So that's the thing that you can't compete with eBay on. How do you get to charge only 63 cents for shipping? This is from Dad and Sons Cards. Thanks for joining us. Yeah, it's eBay standard envelope. So when you list an auction for the shipping service, you choose a 1 ounce package or 1 ounce envelope. Make sure your envelope dimensions are small enough that it would go through the scanner when you put in your envelope measurements. And then when you choose your shipping service, you just choose eBay standard delivery, and it'll be 63 cents. So then when the customer buys the card, you simply go in, you print your label, and it should be already set to eBay standard delivery. Only cards under $20 can get sent at that 63-cent stamp. Anything over that, you got to start using the standard. What's that? Ground service or whatever. I don't know. They changed the name of it. It used to be first class. Now it's got some other name. But anyway, then you have to basically send it as a package. So MD says 80% of paper first should be 10 cents and are valued as such. Unfortunately, quarter would like result in much less sales at shows. You guys know more than me. I don't really buy baseball prospecting type stuff. So I buy my one big box each year of chrome and color and paper, first Bowmans, and I list them and I leave it at that. They sell, they sell. If they don't, they don't. Product in, product out. I think we all have found out the wives don't agree with keeping everything. Yeah, I have no interest in keeping everything. I never bought any of the stuff with a plan to keep it. I don't get married to any of these cards. I get married to the money. So I want to make sure when I buy it, I can sell it and have something left over after that. That's basically my only focus on those cards. I have my PC stuff. I have stuff that I will hang on to for a very long time, forever, whatever. Whatever the case may be, but I will definitely be hanging on to my man Stu for a long time. Stu says the same. But the cards, they are in, they are out, and move on to the next one. MD says he knows who wears the pants in our houses. Yeah, for sure, and I'm okay with that. It doesn't bother me. She does a lot more than I do in my house, so she can have as many pants as she wants. So that's where I'm really fortunate. I was, to give you a little bit of background on myself and my experience with eBay history here. I ran a business full time on eBay previously, in like 2001, 2002, something like that. Um, and then I went back to work. Mainly I was just missing people, and really eBay wasn't at a point yet where, social media wasn't involved. None of that was a thing. It was a lot harder to get sales on eBay, get customers. They didn't have a lot of good marketing tools, things like that. So anyway, I went back to work. I ended up being the insurance person in our household. I provided the family health insurance. So it wasn't going to be feasible for me to lose those benefits and leave a job. But now my wife she has better insurance options than I had. So she's been the insurance carrier. So it made it a lot more feasible for me to be able to do this full time because we have an insurance source. So funny, kind of a funny story about that part of it. Um, Long time ago when I was doing eBay previously, they had almost like a group health plan, like a power sellers health insurance you could kind of buy into. It was still more expensive than like a group plan, an employer's plan. And of course, they didn't kick in any premium or anything like that. You were responsible for all the premium. Insurance was much better back then, much better coverage, much lower deductibles, as most of you know. But anyway, so I was like, oh, perfect. I could buy into this insurance. Well, every quarter it was going up, going up, going up, going up, going up. And, it got to the point where it was like everything you were making was just paying for the health insurance. So it got kind of gross. Um, so yeah, it's funny how much stuff changes over time. Some for the better, some not so much. So just have to make sure you're in the right situation that works for you. If you can go full time, it's fun. It's a lot of work. Uh, if you can't or you don't even want to, that's fine too. It's a great little side hustle thing, and lots of people will do that for um, the duration of their time that they're involved in the cards. I know a lot of resellers that do it just to be able to pay for their PC stuff or be able to buy boxes because they like to rip. Whatever your motivation is, that's the beauty of it is there's a place for all of us. We can all do different things and find joy in it. But I think I'm gonna wrap it up for tonight. It's a little bit earlier, but that's actually a good thing. I got a lot to do tomorrow. We will have Charlie back next week. I'm sure of it. I will try to talk to him in the next couple days, make sure he's doing all right. I'll pass all your well-beings along to him if he hasn't seen this yet or isn't watching tonight. So appreciate that from all of you. We'll make sure Stu is back in the house. He'll be back with in Charlie's possession next week, assuming that he's feeling better. Um, but thanks you all for joining me. I really appreciate it, and we'll see you all soon.